Good morning, everyone. I'm up here, if you can see. Good morning. I hope you all had a really wonderful weekend. It's Monday morning. I was really grateful and fortunate to celebrate 1 year with my new girlfriend, which has been wonderful. So lots of food, good drinks. Went to see a dance show yesterday, which was absolutely amazing. And I was on a call last week with someone on a podcast, and we actually talked about some of my influences for speed and movement and change of direction, and one of those was dance. And I went to see Boy Blue, and it was just wonderful. One of the biggest things that I took away from it is the understanding of how to create an organism out of so many different individuals. And that lends itself from a coaching point of view. That question is really, really important, because if you look at team sports, for example, so many things are dependent on individuals doing things all at the same time or in a set order, which is, epitomized by dance performance. And some of it was absolutely unbelievable. So more on that another time. But today, I've posted a graph on my Instagram and everywhere on acceleration curves, and I wanted to do a video and a podcast and talk about this because it features in one of the sections of the sports speed certification. And if you've not booked on, get yourself booked on. 27th of March, Athlone Island. All the details, there'll be a link in the description to get you there. And you've got a whole day of me talking through and everything with you, and outlining and demonstrating and answering your questions face to face and everything for the whole day. Then you get the course completely unlocked and finish that certification. Not only that, I'm going to jump on another call with you about 3 to 4 weeks later, after you should have finished it, to then make sure that no stone is unturned. I really want this education, this certification to completely supersede the standards of the industry, and with that, I'm pretty sure that we're able to do so. So acceleration curves, what are they? So straight away, let's get the let's just call that 50 meters, and let's call that 100 meters, 100%. Okay, so an acceleration curve is the rate of which you try to accelerate your center of mass, or your body, to a desired speed as fast as possible. So I'm just going to draw 3 simple examples here, okay, and illustrate that. So these are 3 ways of which you could manage your acceleration to the distance of 50 meters. And what you've got here is it's all broken into phases. So you can see, to start off with, we've got a really high rate of acceleration. We've got a really median rate of acceleration. So let's call that 25 meters, 0, ease, even 10, even 30, 35, something like that, right? So what you can see here is that is you putting your foot down as hard and as fast as you can, trying to get as much acceleration as early as possible. So from a scenario point of view, that could be a static shallow start coming onto the ball, or reacting to something late. A medium acceleration curve is when, maybe in rugby, for example, if the play is unfolding towards you and you're trying to time your speed, if you're a back or a forward, off of a key person holding the ball, or an option. In American football, if you are, for example, I'm tight end, so if I'm playing at X, and I've got my receiver and I've got to run a deep out, but he's got to come under me, then I need to see him in my periphery to make sure that we're working off the same line, so we can block our blockers and defenders. So that is more so that there. Whereas, this third, which is quite a shallow progressive acceleration curve, is something where you're spotting someone, or spotting the ball come towards you. When I played rugby, I played on the left wing. So we have 9, 10, 12, 13 here. When that ball gets passed, my play action doesn't start till about here. It depends if I want to come in and run a line or do I bounce out. So my acceleration curve, I need to be, when I hit the ball, this is the important thing, when I hit the ball, I don't need to be at maximal acceleration. I need to be at about 85 close percentage, a higher percentage of acceleration. So then I can turn and burn. I can kick on my gears and work it, because what you'll see is that over a period of time, and this is something that, you know, I'll just run a curve here. Okay, so we've got three key zones, all right, of acceleration here, and essentially speed, but we take this just to acceleration. So let's work back. So here's the rate of decay. Okay, here's the maintenance. Okay, so how much can we maintain that acceleration? Can we keep accelerating at a higher percentage for as long as possible? And this is what I call like our build phase. So that build phase is what we identified in the previous chart. And when we've got that build phase of acceleration, that is when we're working on our timing of how to apply force, when we're applying force, how to reorientate the body. There's all those things that need to come into that build phase, which then set up that maintenance phase. And obviously there is that intersection. Okay, so there is this interplay. We've got acceleration here, and then in with that, there is that maximum velocity relationship, because obviously you're going to be increasing your maximum velocity as you're continuing to accelerate. And so the build phase overall of that, the build phase of a total run, I'm not talking about acceleration, I'm talking about a path of which we attain maximal speed. The build phase is the acceleration phase. Then that covers the early acceleration to through to transition to max velocity. And then we manage our decay off the back of that. So when you're seeing and you're looking at this movement and you're looking at sport, you need to think about, well, what rate of acceleration do I have to use then? This is the question that comes up. And this is something that I really want you to think about as a coach or as an athlete. Like, am I actually wasting my speed? Am I not tapping into it at the right time? And that's really an important thought process to go through. And these couple of simple models should really help you understand that. And so if you were to just take this further concept of which I'm going to give you, when from 0, call it to 20 meters, right? Easy number for me in my head, right? So here, okay, it's all high force. This first thing is all high force, okay? Relative, so it's high mechanical force, not high ground reaction force, very different, okay? Whereas as we're accelerating to higher percentages of max velocity, we're actually really high ground reaction force and a normalized, more mechanical strain. Because you have to think about like what happens in acceleration. It's heavily muscular driven, whereas maximum velocity speeds are very tenderness driven. So the goal through here is to be loading. So go back to your series elastic component, your parallel elastic component, is through these early steps. What we're trying to do is put vibration through those tendons, so when they need to be ready, they can just spring to create elastic energy for speed. So in those early stages, we're building speed to then use that elasticity, and the underpinning sequence of that is frequency. So how much leg speed can we generate and how fast can we generate it? Because as soon as we can generate leg speed should always be coached before velocity, because you will never attain top speed without leg speed. So when you're working through those and you're thinking about these ideas, hopefully there's some practical application here straight for you. If you're listening to this on the podcast, get to my private Facebook group, rewatch the video, get over to the YouTube, rewatch the video, because these models are really going to help you. And if you want to learn more, come to my certification, get certified in sport speed certification, because this stuff is not talked about in any other certification. It's not, this is the first one that shows you how and breaks down these frameworks. These are frameworks that I've built, that I've identified. They're mine. This is what I use. This is what I feel. This is what I do, and how I link things together to create superior athletic performance. And I'm giving it to you, and I want you to have it, because I think we need to make speed great again. We need to make speed more accessible, and especially for team sport coaches, we need to stop this illusion of speed being an untapped and unattainable resource. I think it's absolute garbage, and that's why I've put everything I can into the certification to bring it back to you. So if you check out all the links below, keep moving, keep grooving, do what you got to do. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful week ahead, and I'm heading somewhere for a few days, so the next live could take a different turn, maybe. Let's see. All right, well, I appreciate you. And again, further questions, just let me know. I'm happy to answer them.